Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. We're going to take a look at these new Xvive wireless guitar units. Now, I've had them on my channel before. I originally started out getting a set of these free from Xvive, and then I had the endorsement thing with them, which was a great deal. And boy, you ever save a lot of money. But anyways, I haven't done anything with their company in quite a long time, and I was in Long and McQuaid yesterday, and one of the problems I have with my new telecaster, the black and gold one, is it has the countersunk jack like you find in a lot of teles, including your classic Vibe 50s. And this is one of the new 40th anniversary telecasters, and it's got that countersunk jack, and the Boss Wireless will not work unless you have a TRS to TRS adapter, and you're going to need a thin washer as well. Let me put these down for a second. So what I'm talking about here is you've got this adapter that's TRS stereo here to this 1/4 inch TRS stereo on this side. Even though wireless is mono, the Boss Wireless system has a TRS system, a lot to do with the charging system and the binding, because you have to actually take both units before you use them each time, and of course slam them together. And it takes about 10 seconds. They search out one of 14 frequencies that are clear that these things won't glitch out with. So, great idea. Unfortunately, when you plug the transmitter into this end, there's a bit of play back and forth that may be an issue with an adapter such as this. So, one of the little tricks I used was to get this thin jack washer and put it on top first, because it's ground to ground, so it doesn't matter. And then pop that in there, and now it's firm. There's no wiggle room. It'll stay locked in, and I can use it on my telly. But it looks stupid, and it's just not pro, okay? I am using my iPhone as a continuity camera, by the way, so it's kind of weird still looking at this thing. I have to find some way to set it up properly, but I got this big, huge 32-inch screen, so my apologies. Anyways, what I wanted to take a look at was any changes that may have happened in these things to start with. And one of the things I do notice is it seems like this switch might be just a hair bit better for the switch cover, you would call it. The physical switch is on a circuit board inside, and the cover pops in onto it. This does seem to be a lot more firmer and a little bit better, actually. They feel very snug, which is good. Mine, of all the units I had some looseness into them. I did drop one set probably a couple of times, and that's about all it took. And I had popped one of the switches, and that was kind of a little annoying because I couldn't repair it. It actually broke. But my other sets were always fine. But now, I've gone through a lot of wireless systems on the channel, and I am going to grab a left-handed guitar just because it's a lot easier to play than righty for me still. But I am going to grab my left-handed telly. Now, this has an outside jack, so, you know, we will show you on the other one, though. But what I want to do is take a look at the clarity, because one of the things I did notice is when I first gotten into wireless stuff, I started with Joyos. And I still have my very first original set of those, and I thought they were nice and clean. But when you get your hands on a Boss set, or even the Xvives, things got cleaner with Xvives and just total cleanliness on the Boss. But I want to know if there's been any improvements in these things sound-wise, because, I mean, manuals don't really tell you much, right? So we're just going to slide over and plug this in and fire it up. Okay, so now we are going to expect a bit of noise coming out of a distortion pedal, especially with single coils. We can get away far enough. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Okay. That's actually clean. Maybe they did do some improvement. okay. Color me impressed. It seems they have gotten somewhat cleaner than what I remember. That's good. So, hey, maybe their soldering work is what's improving things. I don't know. They had pretty decent solder work originally, but yeah. They're definitely sounding pretty clean. All right, let's grab the right-handed one. This is what I bought it for. So I've got a countersunk jack here. This is fantastic. Doesn't matter what I do, I got plenty of depth. Sennheiser has a system where you can wire it as a body pack setup or just plug straight in. As a wired system, it actually would work fine, but $500-600? No. Don't need that high-end wireless, okay? And besides, anything that involves the word body pack in use, in my books, is not true wireless. This is because you can take the guitar right off your body, no wires anywhere, and put it on your stand and you're good to go. So, this thing is likely not tuned, but for this video, we don't care, okay? We just want to see what it's like on this one. So, overdrive pedal. That's nice and clean. Okay, metal pedal. That's clean. You guys do remember I do kind of suck at right-handed, right? Oh, I can't do that yet. No. But for clean sound, yeah, they're clean still. They're actually, like I said, a little bit cleaner than they were before. So that's awesome. Some improvements, I think. Anyways. But these are going to be one of many solutions out there that you can use for any guitar, including your Telecaster, that has a countersunk jack like this, where your conventional wireless won't plug in. Okay, same as if you look at the Joyos here. Now I'll just turn that one off. The Joyo system, these work fine on Strats and Telecasters or any guitar with an outside jack. But you can see here, it's not going to lock, right? If you take the Boss transmitter, it'll kind of go in there, but it won't turn the power on. That's the problem, right? It's being stopped. So that's why the other solution was this. See here, but that's not a good solution. It looks absolutely stupid, and it sticks way out, which is something that could be a little bit of a hazard to a part of your guitar if things went and leaned over on you the wrong way. So not a really good solution. Although it does work and can work, and it did work for, you know, a couple of times playing this since I bought it. Yeah, the Xvive is definitely the huge winner here, and any style that has at least this much depth is gonna definitely work for you. Okay, so that's gonna be perfect, and I can fold it out of the way. Doesn't matter what I do, and of course we have separate on and off. We don't have to rely on a push system switch where it's an automated thing. Now I kind of do like the Boss automated switch. I really like that idea because as soon as you unplug it, it goes off, right? These you got to manually turn on and off, which is still fine. But these work, they really don't. So you got to kind of look at it that way. But I like the wood grain finish. And but for now, what I've done is I've rented this set for the next 2 months. So I'm good until February 13th, I think. And then I'll probably re-rent them again, depending on how finances work out. I'm off work now for the season, so money is going to be like extreme tight now. So no purchasing new little goodies for a while, unless I have extra elsewhere. But these are $200 right now, only because apparently they discontinued this color scheme. And it's like, man, that kind of looks a lot like a Les Paul kind of burst, right? But it's a wood grain thing. And I kind of like that compared to, a silver set or an all black set. I mean, bleh, like so ugly. I mean, nothing wrong with black. I love black. But, there are some colors that just really shouldn't be produced on anything in my books. But when I saw these originally, I thought, hey, wow, I wonder what other improvements they've done, if any. Have they improved the transmission capability? Well, obviously, I'm hearing a lot more cleaner than what it was before. Not by like miles a lot, but much cleaner. And that's a good sign, because when you compare the Joyos, they're kind of noisy. The Boss is like super clean. But I mean, you kind of, the more you pay, the cleaner you get is the idea, and the better you're going to get, they say. Not always true, but when it comes to wireless equipment, I think that when you start paying for better and better all the time, you definitely get a cleanliness thing. And if you don't know about wireless stuff and you hear a bit of noise, you'll probably think, oh, that's just natural because I got a high gain distortion on, either built into the amp or whatever. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's just your wireless system is really cheap, which is where this discovery came in. Then when I got Boss and I got these, it was kind of like a competition. Which one did I like the best? I do like the Xvives. They are very nice. They do work well. They have very good long range on them. But you are limited to 4 channels. Keep that in mind. And you could accidentally change the channel if you hit the button on your transmitter. So just keep that in mind. Whereas this system, super clean. But, of course, it has auto searching. Up to 14 different frequencies within the band. So that's kind of nice. 14 people can have this going, but only 4 people with this. So, yeah. And when this is on, there will be a frequency of the 4 that are also likely going to be within this. So when this gets turned on, it's going to go, hey, conflict, good. Okay, so it searches out. You get 14 shots at it. Right, so that's kind of nice with the Boss, but mind you, these are like $300. Now these have gone up in price. They're now about $220. They've gone up about $20 in cost. But the only reason apparently this set didn't is because these have now been discontinued in the wood grade. Doesn't mean you can't get them. They've just kind of discontinued. But your warranty will still be intact, so don't worry about that. That'll be fine. But yeah, I do still like Xvive stuff. They've got a lot of really good products, and anything I've had of theirs has been actually really good. But I thought I'd try these out again because at Long McQuaid, we kind of have some limitations. We go either with a more professional system for, $500-600. We had the cheap AKG system. That thing was garbage, okay? Check my channel for that AKG wireless system. That thing was horrible. So that went back really fast. And I call it how I see it, so take it for what you will. But when these first came out, they were about 150, and now they've come up over the last few years to 200, and then now to 220. And that's fine. I think still, 200 to 220, I think that's still very reasonable, and given that it seems like they've made a bit of an improvement on the switch, at least it seems to be to me, and the clarity does seem to be a little bit cleaner. Okay, it's not miles, but it's a bit better. I think that's kind of a good thing. The rest of the design format on this seems to be exactly the same anyways. So taking them apart to change your own battery would be the same process. I have videos about that on my channel if you want to take a look. Just be very, very careful, because I did have one mishap happen to one of my sets when I was doing that for you guys. It does come with an included charge cable that's got a Y adapter, so you can charge them both at the exact same time. You're going to get more runtime, obviously, out of the receiver than you do the transmitter. It's because the transmitter is doing all the work. So, let's say you get about, I don't know, 5 hours, 6, 7 hours. I can't remember the exact time without reading the book again. But it is quite a long runtime. And I used to use mine in church literally every Sunday and every Wednesday at practice before I even got the Boss system. And I really like these. These are really good. But you got to watch the dropsies with these things. I'm pretty sure that even with any little improvements that they've made, they're still going to be susceptible that if they do hit a hard surface from X amount of height or continually a number of different times, eventually something is going to give. Where you got a system like Boss, you can pretty much throw these things like across the room and you're not going to hurt them. I mean, they just don't. They're I'm not saying they're indestructible, but they're pro-level quality for wireless of this style, and they are durable. Okay, I mean, I have put these things through some, massive fun over the years that I've started getting into this Boss system. Now, this is my second system, only because for some reason I was doing fine the one day. The next day I plugged them in and it didn't want to keep the bind. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was a switch finally giving. Maybe it was something else. But they do take a lot of punishment. They are built to last, right? And a lot of runtime too out of these beefy things. Not that they're beefy. I mean, come on, they're not that big. But, you know what I mean? They definitely got some battery power in there, you know what I mean? And they are clean nonetheless. But limitations on guitars, okay? The least, you will likely only find probably some Ibanez guitars or guitars like Ibanez's where they have that drilled out wood cutout that's on an angle, kind of like a Strat but without the boat plate in there. These are not going to work, okay? Not without going into the resorts of an adapter. But now instead of going stereo TRS to TRS stereo quarter, now you need the same exact thing, but in tip sleeve, because this is a tip sleeve, okay? Don't ask me why it's working that way. It's just the nature of the beast, but that's the way it seems to go. So anyway, that's what we've got for you on the U2 wireless system. I still think that they're a really great system, but like I said, watch the dropsies onto hard surfaces. Carpet, you can do all you want, even super thin carpet like in your church. You know how you have look, it's a colored piece of wool. It's that shallow of carpet. You're going to be fine. You can drop them all you want. It's not going to hurt anything. It's the hard surfaces like hard floors like I have, or concrete, asphalt. That's where you're only going to get so many shots at dropping these things, and that's where you're going to have problems. Definitely on the first releases, but these ones might take a few extra hits, but I'm suspecting we still could end up with the same sort of scenario. So just don't go purposely doing that, because it's not a cool thing. And besides, they're not cheap at $200 or even $220, which is the new price on them. Gotta love inflation too. It's raising the prices of everything. Good in some aspects, bad in others, but mostly bad. But anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you have a set of these ones in wood grain or one of the other newer colors? What has your experience been? I would like to know in the comments below how you're making out with these things, even using multiple units at once. Have you done that, and does it work out well? Okay. Anyway, that's it. That's all, and see ya.